already said, I need your help in welcoming in your best man, Brent, for your first toast. Everybody can turn around and applause.
Hello, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Brent. I've known Blake for almost 22 years now. We met in Mrs. Clower's kindergarten class, and we've been friends ever since. We've done pretty much everything together growing up, from playing sports, which both of our dads coached us growing up, to hunting, to working together. And while we would be working together out of town, living together, eating Mexican food twice a day, every day, probably even more than we lost count. You'd think we would get tired of each other's company and needing a break, but every Friday, it never failed. Once we got home, we'd be calling each other and making plans to hang out the entire weekend. And it's just a good time, a lot of times on the lake. So everybody here knows Blake's quite the comedian. His personality is quite infectious, and he can become friends with a stranger and have them laughing within minutes after meeting him from his famous one-liners, which are hilarious, and I can't pronounce most of them. To his quick, witty comments to anything anybody says. To every time he gets a microphone in his hands, he's either singing Garth Brooks or auctioneering. In high school, our football team was auctioning off our jerseys just for a homecoming fundraiser. And the football club actually hired a live auctioneer. And it was my turn to sell my jersey. I knew Blake kind of dabbled in auctioneering, but I had convinced him to come out with me, and for the reason he did it, we both walked out there, and he grabbed that microphone away from the auctioneer, like, move over, cowboy, watch this. Something like, quarter and a half. And he sold my jersey off, so had a good time. And actually, hell, on my wedding day, he auctioned off my wife. So I had mentioned earlier about playing sports with Blake, and both of our dads being our baseball coaches growing up. And I was actually talking to my dad and Kim earlier tonight about how many different positions Blake played growing up. But for whatever reason, couldn't figure any of them out. His first base performance was just a little sloppy. Second base, mechanics were just off, and third base, Casey, let's face it, he never got there. Best of luck to y'all tonight. Godspeed. Hopefully he got the whole position thing figured out. I'm just kidding. Blake was a fine baseball player. He was a catcher. I was a pitcher. I could have gone into that joke, but that'd have been inappropriate. In all seriousness, thank you to all the family involved this weekend. What a beautiful wedding, and an even more beautiful bride. Thank you, Blake and Casey, for being such great friends. I love you both. Last year, me and Hillary moved back home, and I want to thank you guys both for having my back always, but for having Hill's too, making sure she was comfortable and safe in a new home. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Both of you guys, Blake and Casey, are ride or die friends, and I wish you a marriage with a lifetime of happiness. And I have lastly, one little word of advice for Casey. There's no such thing as too many duck and goose mounts in one household. So, if everyone would please join me in raising their glass to the new Mr. and Mrs. Ford.
Oh boy.
All right, let's get a big round of applause for Brent real quick.
Throughout the years, she's just come to mean so much to me. I actually met Casey the night that her and Blake first laid eyes on each other. Brent and I happened to be visiting Mizzou at Rolling Rock, where everybody lived. Rolling Rock, represent. We got a few in the house. And we happened to be visiting, and Rolling Rock was having this huge neighborhood party or whatever, and Casey happened to be hosting. And I can remember, I don't know if she knew she was hosting, but she was. And so we were at this party down the road, and I can just remember all of us hanging out. And at that point, one of the things that I love the most about Casey is her generosity and her giving heart. And literally that night, she began taking things literally off the wall and giving them to people. They were like, oh my gosh, I love this thing on your wall. She's like, here, you can have it. And I just remember standing back and looking at her do this, and I was like, this girl's pretty legit. I think we could be friends. She still does this, by the way. I don't think I leave their house without a new item. They're like, here, take it. But anyways, like I mentioned, that night, Casey and Blake hit it off, and I can just remember all of us being like, okay, it's time to go, like, we need to go home. But Blake was not leaving Casey behind. I don't know what happened after that. We all left, and they were alone, so that was good. But that next morning, I just remember all of us hanging out. He got kicked out the door, I hear. But anyway, so all of us were hanging out the next morning and just, talking about the night before. And all Blake could talk about was this cute blonde girl that he had met the night before at the party. And I just remember thinking, oh wow, who is this girl? So we were like Facebook grouping her and everything. And lo and behold, here we are, fast forward, and she's now your wife. So the cute blonde girl is now sitting here and looks beautiful as ever. And give them another round of applause because they're amazing. Since then, Casey and I have shared so many memories together. I could go on for actual hours. But just to name a few, the many trips to IKEA. She actually took me on my first trip to IKEA, and ever since we've been back pretty much every week. But days on the lake, blaring music, repeating our favorite songs at the top of our lungs. Pretty sure Blake and Brent are switch a song. But binge watching our favorite shows and just so many things. We've been through the ups and downs of just adulting together these last few years, and it's been just crazy and figuring out life. I will always have her back, and I know without any single hesitation she will always have mine. We've shared a lot of tears, but a lot more laughs, and I really just don't actually know how I would do life without you. So thank you for being amazing. She's driven to succeed in everything that she does. I think anybody that knows Casey well knows that she is just gonna fight to just be successful. And it is just an honor to be your best friend. So thank you. Now Blake. Usually people laugh a whole lot whenever I say Blake. Okay, I've known Blake for about 8 years. He and Brent were a package deal, so I knew that if I didn't love Blake from the get-go, our relationship would be over. So pretty much I've loved Blake from the beginning. Like everybody does, I love his sense of humor, but I think more than anything with Blake, what you see is what you get. He's the most authentic, genuine person ever, and I know Haley already mentioned it, but literally he would drop anything to be there for his friends. Casey is head over heels for you, Blake. I was going to say something else, but never mind. She loves you like no one else could, and you are her honeybee, and thank you for being amazing to her. You guys are two of a kind, and I just know that without any doubt, if you guys can survive living together in a camper, you can survive anything. And I can speak on behalf of this entire wedding party. Blake and Casey are the best of friends to literally every single person. I've heard on numerous occasions people being like, oh my gosh, your friends are so great. Well, it's because Blake and Casey are so great to all of us. So you guys are just amazing and the best, and you guys are more like family, and I just love you both so much. So thank you so much for allowing both of us to be a part of your special day. We love you, and a special thanks to all the family and friends that made this day perfect for our best friends. We love you guys with every fiber of our being. And now, would you all please join me in raising a glass? We wish you guys nothing but a lifetime of pure joy and happiness. Cheers to the new Mr. and Mrs.
All right, let's get a big round of applause for Hillary, and an even bigger round of applause for Casey and Blake.